The most common reason for oil analysis not being effective is incorrect or missing information that accompanies the sample. It is vitally important that the submission form be filled in as completely and as accurately as possible. The sample number is a unique ID for the sample. Ensure that the numbers on the subform and on the bottle are the same. If you need to query results, make sure you have this number handy. Finding results can be almost impossible without the sample number. Your WearCheck computer code or customer code identifies who you are, your address, telephone number, who gets what reports, etc. This simplifies and automates the whole reporting process. As machines can move between sites, it is important to fill this in, as it will determine which site will get the report. The fleet or plant number or registration plate is used to uniquely identify your equipment within the system. It also relates to associated information, such as the make and model of the component or vehicle and the brand and grade of oil used. For example, if you call a unit 140 G1 and later change it to Grader 1, then the information stored against 140 G1 will not tie up with the plant number Grader 1. The component type is where precisely the sample has come from. For example, from the engine or from the gearbox. As with the fleet number, it is important not to change the name of the component type. If the first sample is called a final drive and information is logged against this ID, do not call the next sample a planetary gear, as information will no longer tie up. The sample date is more for your record keeping, but it allows the samples to be stored in chronological order. It also allows you to monitor how long it takes for the sample to arrive at the laboratory, as an analysis date is given on the report. The service meter reading gives an idea of how old the machine is, in hours or kilometers. New machines will exhibit higher than normal results, as they are bedding in. It is therefore vital for us to know how new or old the machine is, as this will affect our diagnosis. The period the oil has been in use is probably the most important piece of information required. If the oil has been in use for twice as long as the previous sample, then approximately twice as much contamination and wear will be expected in the sample. Whether the oil and filters have been changed or not can and must be recorded. This will affect the diagnosis if the oil needs to be changed due to contamination. If the oil was changed when the sample was taken, then there would be no need to change it again. It is important to know what the oil consumption is. Even if exact figures are not known, then normal or excessive will help. Topping up with fresh oil has the effect of diluting all the readings and making abnormal wear look normal. The comments or special circumstances area allows you to add in any information that might be relevant. This information can often help us to provide a more detailed and accurate diagnosis. The service meter reading when major overhauls take place or when a unit is replaced can and must be recorded. This information could indicate if elevated readings might be due to bedding in rather than abnormal wear. The vehicle make and model is important, as a Caterpillar grader behaves very differently to a Toyota Hiace. The information in this section only needs to be filled in the first time a component is sampled, as it will be recorded against the computer code, vehicle, and component. The component make and model are just as important as the vehicle details, particularly when it comes to engines, gearboxes, and transmissions. A Bell articulated dump truck could be powered by either a Deutz, ADE, or Mercedes-Benz engine. The oil brand, type, and grade are also important. If the brand and grade are different from what was expected, it may indicate a maintenance problem. It is also a lot easier to state what an oil is not, rather than identifying an unknown product, as many products are very similar. The oil capacity provides useful information that could affect the diagnosis. If a small sump, such as 28 liters, is contaminated with dirt, it is no problem to drain and flush the system. However, if this were a 2,000-liter hydraulic system, it would be cheaper to try and filter or purify the oil. If a supplemental oil additive is in use, it is useful to know this, as the presence of an additive may be responsible for influencing the results. It is helpful to know what kind of coolant treatment is being used. If an internal coolant leak were to occur, then the chemicals in the coolant package may end up in the oil and can be detected by oil analysis. We hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us.